Good morning, market snappers. Welcome back. This is Jesse. We're getting started at 9:02 a.m. Getting a little bit of a late start, so we did a little bit longer of a countdown this time. Just get things going. Just made it under 9:03. I don't think I've ever gone as late as 9:03. 9:02 is very rare, but here we are, back on it. Another live stream in the morning. So if you've been here before, awesome. Welcome back. If you've never been here before, welcome aboard. So first half of the live stream, we'll cover Bitcoin. These altcoins continue to bleed. And then the NASDAQ as well hit 3 out of 4 targets to the downside so far. I could definitely see potential bounce in the shorter term, kind of let those trending dots catch up. So we'll cover that. Magnificent Seven, we'll take a look at those and any other stocks or crypto assets that kind of jump out at us. Second half of the live stream, we will cover your chart requests. So just make sure, remember, early bird gets the worm. So get in your requests early and let me know all the details since this is a live stream and since this is unscripted and we want to keep the flow going. Make sure to put in all the details, whether the ticker symbol, if it's crypto or stock, all that stuff. Put in all the details, and that way we can search for it quickly and not waste a lot of time over here. So with that, good morning, crypto noob. Good morning, market snipers. Mega, good day. I think that's what good GD means. Good day. So with that, I might be going in and out of my background. Get the fake background on. Matthew, good morning. Yep. Good to see you back. All right, with that, let's jump right into it. Might keep this one a little bit shorter because not much has really changed. Still watching the same thing, so that's a good thing. Still watching the same thing. So let's dive right in. Deso and Pawn. Choose one, Robbie. Choose one, and let me know which one you want me to take a look at. If we have time, maybe both, but definitely choose one for sure, depending on how many requests we have. So let's do it. This is Bitcoin daily chart. Still currently bullish as of right now. Could be finding support at the trending dots. Still fairly on track with the Apple fractal. It's not meant to be exact. It's not meant for it to, just do exactly what the fractal does. The Apple fractal is just an idea, right? It's just an idea, but it has been tracking it fairly closely throughout this entire consolidation. It has been tracking it even more closely the last 5 to 6 weeks. We've been talking about it for at least that long. I can't remember how long, but at least early June. So it's been at least 6 to 7 weeks we've been following it, watching it. The recap is there was bullish divergence on Apple before breaking out. There was bullish divergence on Bitcoin before breaking out, this last breakout. So could we see new all-time highs by, within the next 2 weeks? It's possible. Pond is first choice. Okay, Robbie, you got it. Peter Dell. Is it Dell or I can't see it from here. Hold on. Peter Dell. Good day. Good thing my dog isn't seeing your profile picture of the squirrel because my dog loves to chase squirrels up the tree. She's gotten pretty close to catching them, but I still, she wouldn't do anything with them anyways, but she likes to chase them up the tree. But yeah, good thing she's not seeing your profile right now. She would chase your profile. What else? So if we kind of switch this over to line, you can see there are still similarities, right? This little move over here is kind of similar to this move. This big move up and a bigger retrace, big move down, very similar to this move and then this move. So are we going to see the same next move as we saw in Apple, right? As we saw in Apple? It's possible. It is possible. Trending dots are still trending upward. We're retesting, price is retesting it right now. Everything is still currently bullish on the daily chart, and we'll see. We'll see if it finds support at key target 4 and on the trending dots that we talked about even back on Monday. Would price retrace back down to the trending dots and or target 4? This is target 5, right? Target 4 here. Would it find support? Flip the resistance into support and then continue upward, right? So that's what we're still watching and waiting. We'll kind of see if it plays out like that or not. Kind of draw out the trend line like that. And it's interesting that you draw the trend line out like that, and even the fractal is pretty much within that upward trend line. Of course, not the fractal doesn't count wicks or anything like that. So we'll see if it continues on this path or not. Would love to see it, but staying cautiously optimistic, especially with the Nasdaq breaking down and the VIX was pumping. It's down again today. First and foremost, we always trade the chart in front of us, but we do keep an eye on other assets just to see if there's anything telling us a different story. Stay on our toes to the best of our ability, and continue to sniper the markets over here. Let's get our fingers warmed up on the mouse. Let's get the fingers warmed up on the mouse. Let's get our trigger finger warmed up. Let's smash that like button. Help me, help you, help me with the algorithms. I would appreciate it. Smash that repost button and throw in a quick comment, right? Throw in a quick comment. And that's it. 5 seconds flat with an emoji, a repost, and a like button. Boom. 7 likes so far. The Twitter X app, I'm always going to probably call it Twitter X. Because as soon as I start calling it X app, Elon will probably rug pull me and start calling it the Twitter app again. So the Twitter X app, we're getting a lot more likes on it finally. We were only getting like 10 to 20, but I think we've been getting like 30 to 40. So thank you for everyone who's been stepping up and smashing that like button, because the YouTubers always do a good job. They always do a good job relative to how many views there are over there. But with how many views there are on the Twitter X app, we'd love to see more likes, right? We'd love to see more likes. Definitely. Help keep me motivated, right? We'll get into this as well, right? NASDAQ. Let's see. We first covered it on July 17th. On the live stream, I've covered the bearish divergence and the reversal candle on the NASDAQ daily chart. If price doesn't find support at 20,100-ish, price was at like 20,500, I think. 300, 400, 500, I don't know, somewhere around there. If price doesn't find support at that area, then I could see a 1,000 point correction. I should have wrote, then I could see at least a 1,000 point correction. And so then we saw the progression of it. Price broke down to that 20,100-ish level, hit target 1. And then if that doesn't hold, yeah, there was target 2, but the 19,100 was all the way down here at target 3. And now we've hit that, right? So now we've hit that. Let's see. And I posted the SP 500 bearish divergence followed by reverse candle, all that stuff. Magnificent 7, covered all that. So if you're not following me over there, definitely go take a look at it. And then I did the update over here 49 minutes ago, and you can see just in NASDAQ has smashed 3 out of the 4 targets so far to the downside. So I'm not sure why we're getting off track. We were just going to cover this anyways. But yeah, there's the 1,000 point drop at least. It's getting pretty far extended away from the training dots. So I could see some sort of a, we'll get into it. We'll get back on the charts. We'll get back into it over there. I got charts over here too on this third tab, but that's more for all the details for the Discord. So I got one for Twitter X app, and then I got all the stuff drawn on the third on a different chart as well, just for the Discord members. They see all the details, right? They see all the details of why, right? For educational purposes. Ethereum, what's going on? Woo wee. Dang. Didn't the Ethereum ETFs get approved? Holy moly, guacamole, right? Holy moly, guacamole. So, big move up. See if it puts in a higher low and then continues upward like that. So, we're going to go. This was a fake out over here. That breakout was a fake out. This breakout is coming back for pretty much a back test. I wonder if you could just draw it like that. Yeah, it's actually probably more like that. Right. Right. So we'll see if it puts in a higher low or not. Let's go like, so if you got a higher low over here, right? And then if you got another higher low that's formed over here, who knows where, right? Who knows where? We'd have to draw out targets for that retracement. It's probably pretty close to it, right? It's probably hitting a key target area right now on that retracement, because you got to keep in mind that was a big move up from that wick. So from wick 2810 up to 3561, that's a big move. 26% on Ethereum. That's a big move in 12 days. So you're getting a retracement of that. See if it finds support, puts in a higher low, and then goes, right? Put in a higher low, then go. So come back down, right? However, the price action plays out, and then that would be your next move over there on Ethereum, possibly. So could take a little bit of time to play out. That would be like mid-August, end of August, maybe. Ethereum takes off to the upside over there. Of course, there could be a more aggressive downward trend line again. Maybe it's something like that, right? You got kind of keep like those two touch points like that over there. Maybe it's something more like that, right? Boom, that's Ethereum. So we'll see if that puts in a higher low or not. Not sure, right? We don't have a magic crystal ball. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. Obviously, this is for educational purposes only, and hopefully, you find some entertainment along the way. Let's go. That's Ethereum. Let's see, Solana. Similar thoughts to Ethereum. Could be coming back. This is a big move up. Could be coming back. Some sort of a retracement. Put in a higher low as well. Sand has not hit one target as of yet. Will it? After this bullish divergence, is it back testing this downward trend line and putting in a higher low? It's possible, right? Too early to call it, but it is possible. Any low, any support above 28 cents is going to be a higher low, and then the probabilities will continue to increase of hitting additional targets over there. Near, we are drawing this out. Would it find support at this upward trend line and then continue on upward? It's hit 3 out of the 4 targets to the upside so far. Filecoin, similar thoughts to Sand. Mana, similar thoughts to Sand. Will it put in that higher low, right? Will it put in that higher low over here from this bullish divergence? Too early to say, right? Too early to say. But seems like it. It seems like they'll all put in a slightly higher low, and then we'll see it possible move after that. So I'm cautiously optimistic, and this bullish divergence has not been cleared yet. It is possible it puts in additional bullish divergence, meaning lower prices. It is possible, but eventually the divergence gets cleared and eventually price catches up, right? So we'll see. We'll see if that happens or not. But as of right now, bullish divergence followed by a reverse candle, possibly putting in a higher low. Then we'll see if it takes off after that. Rarible, similar thoughts. Algo, similar thoughts. Only hit 1 out of the 4 targets so far to the upside. Cardano, one out of 4. See if it puts in that higher low. Dot. Let's see. Dot. See if it puts in that higher low on the candle close. We're looking at candle closes on the daily chart. That's what we're talking about. Is the candle close higher from the bullish divergence? That would be a higher low. So we'll see. What else? What else? What else? AVAX, 1 out of 4. Chainlink, what was that? 3 out of 4 to the upside. I removed the first target just for visual purposes. And then we'll find out if it puts in a higher low or not, right? We will see. The fourth target has not been hit out of 4. It did hit it over here. It did hit 4 out of 4 over there. Did not hit 4 out of 4 targets over there. Got rejected at the 200-week moving average and the third target. Let's switch gears over the NASDAQ. We kind of talked about it a little bit on Caesar. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good to see you back on here. We talked a little bit about it on the Twitter X app with the posts that we are talking about even before July 17th, which I posted on. And then, but we were talking about bearish divergence back here on July 10th. We talked about the reversal candle on July 11th on the live streams. And then we started seeing, breaking down on July 17th over here. And that's when all those posts were starting to fly in, because now you're starting to see it break down below. We were talking about it before there was a sell signal, right? It was starting to break down from the trending dots. It seemed like a possible lower high was put in, and then the targets were already drawn. Next thing you know, in the same day, sell signal, target 1 was hit, and now 3 out of the 4 targets were hit. We even talked about it on the live stream, even though I'm not an Elliott wave trader whatsoever. Sometimes you could see that it could work as a good idea. So you got 1, 2, 3. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think, right? So maybe you get like a 1, 2, 3, and then who knows after that, right? So who knows after that? Let the trending dots catch up. And then if it puts in that correction, then continues down more, or that was it, right? Either this was it for the correction, or there's further downside, right? Could also be further downside. Maybe there's another one and another one, right? We don't know. We don't know. I'm not an Elliott wave guy, but the basics of it would probably be something like that. And seems like there's kind of like profit taking right around key target 3, right? So we'll see if it continues to, if the profit taking continues to flip this around, at least in the short term, and lets the trending dots catch up or not. We don't know if that's all as of right now. The gap was filled over here. We had it on the SP 500, but this gap was filled from over here as well. So that's another milestone for the correction. Let's see what else. Let's draw this over here like that. Maybe it'll find support on this lower upward trend line. It's too early to say. Maybe it finds support and then continues higher, and or puts in a lower high. So we'll keep an eye on it. If this was if it's going to continue to correct down further, right? It is possible that it retraces back up. However it plays out, right? Maybe it takes some time to play out. And then maybe it drops down further, right? If the top was in, like if you were like a perma bear and you're like, the top is in, and they call the tops all the way up, right? The perma bears are a different breed, right? Same with the perma bulls, but the perma bears would be top is in, right? Top is in, right? Okay, I did take that short over here, but then the top is in, and the top is in. Eventually, they're going to be right, but do they have any money left, right? When they're wrong this entire period, do you want to be wrong for 7 months and continue to lose money, right? Assuming they're losing money if they're calling tops and shorting it all the way down. I doubt, unless you're on a really, really low time frame and you're doing like a day trade or scalp, then you're probably losing money calling those tops all the way up. But now I'm sure they're coming out in full force that the top is in again. It is possible that the top is in, but it's, we'd have to look at the higher time frames to kind of better determine that. And it just takes time you know, for the top to be in to actually play out and happen, right? Usually there would be a topping pattern similar to a bottoming pattern where it kind of just takes a little bit of time. So not always, but maybe there's a bigger catalyst that also helps push it down faster. Uh, just depends what the market bosses want to do, right? So we look at the weekly chart. Here, let's get off of the daily chart drawings real quick, right? Let's see. You do have long-term bearish divergence, even getting picked up on the indicator all the way to like February, but going all the way back to June 2023, bearish divergence. We got a pending RSI sell signal, right? Pending RSI sell signal. So if you started getting like, I know there's candle closes back below here and price got bought back up. Candle closes back below here, price got bought back up. You start getting candle closes back below here, and then a lower high is put in. That would be the higher probability that a bigger correction is coming, right? So too early to say as of right now. There was even a lower high over here, came all the way back down, and then just price was bought back up. That was back in October. So when that lower high was put in, that's when I was shorting back over here, right? I was shorting, close out my short position based off of lower time frames, and then it took off to the upside. In hindsight, I talked about it way back here that I should have got into a long position, and I never did on futures, which is leverage, and that would have been a nice move to the upside. In hindsight, right? Can't get them all. You can't win them all, right? Can't win them all. So we'll see. If it does put in a lower high, that would be something to consider and pay attention to because there is long-term bearish divergence. There is a RSI pending sell signal, but what typically happens is even on these higher time frames, you would see some sort of a bounce back up and then come back over. It would just take some time to roll over, right? It would take some time to roll over and then see how it plays out after that. So it's not like it happens overnight. A lot of people think it's just like a black swan event they never saw coming. Really, they start calling it a black swan event when price is back down here and they never saw it coming, right? But it plays out in like slow motion, right? For swing trader, plays out in slow motion, and all the warning signs are there. You got divergences typically, you've got reversal candles, you've got losing momentum, right? You've got all that stuff, right? It lets you know in advance, right? So it's not like you get caught off guard. You only get caught off guard is if you're not blocking out the noise. If you're not blocking out the noise and you're listening to news, narratives, influencers, right? Whatever, that are adamant about it being super bullish or super bearish, either one. And, I try to stay as neutral as possible, but that's easier said than done, right? But we do a pretty good job staying neutral, I think. Ever since 2021, I felt like I got too bullish, and I didn't close out of my Bitcoin position until about it was 60,750 ish. So I just rounded up to 61,000. Got out of my Bitcoin position, and then I felt like I was late to the party on shorting it. So I shorted ETH with 10x leverage because I was in a Bitcoin leverage long position with 10x leverage and closed that one out. In hindsight, it wasn't that bad. It was still within my goal of the top minus, what was it, 10 to 13% at the time. Now my goal has moved to 5 to 8% from the top on Bitcoin. So there we go. What are you even talking about, Jesse? Is it possible Nasdaq topped but beats? Yeah, it's possible, right? It's something to keep an eye on it. While if Nasdaq goes through a topping pattern, it's possible Bitcoin goes and makes a new all-time high, and then but if there's a bigger crash on the NASDAQ? Because if NASDAQ's going through correction, yes. If there's a bigger crash in the NASDAQ, I'm going to say no, right? I'm going to say no. I would say that then that would be your quote unquote black swan event, whatever. But maybe it's a shorter term, bigger crash and then it rebounds and kind of throws off the cycles for a little bit. But if the NASDAQ's going through correction, I think it's healthy. Can't call a bigger crash yet, right? In my own personal opinion, can't call a bigger NASDAQ crash yet. So it is going through a correction. It is healthy because this is a big move for the NASDAQ, right? From wick to wick, right? That's a 22% move. Doesn't seem like a lot if you're used to like uh altcoins and Bitcoin and stuff like that. 22% doesn't seem like a lot, but that's massive. It takes a lot to move the NASDAQ that far, in my opinion, compared to other assets out there. But so yeah, it's a healthy correction, 22%. To retrace some of that, going through a cooling off period. So yeah, I do think Bitcoin, after its correction, could lead the way to the upside for sure and make a new all-time high. Apple was on its own time frame. Tesla was on its own time frame, outside the Magnificent Seven, where Tesla was not making new all-time highs. It was still going through like its own, you could call it a bear market, right? It was putting in lower highs and lower lows since 2021, all the way to the bottom where there's bullish divergence. So you got to treat each chart individually, but for the most part, I still think they're fairly correlated, and I wouldn't call them uncorrelated or decorrelated. I don't know, I always get that one mixed up until it's not, right? So behind playing catch up. Johnny C, longtime market sniper. CK, ICP. Which one? CK. What's CK? Is that a Bitcoin miner? Dial in the details, my man. We'll take a look at them for you. So that's NASDAQ, SP 500, gap fill, right? Called it out. Bearish divergence followed by reverse candle. Didn't have that longer bearish divergence, but had the shorter term bearish divergence and then filled that gap, similar to the NASDAQ. Dow Jones, talked about it, would have come back and kind of back test that breakout. That was a pretty big move up, right? Reverse candle. And we'll see how it plays out. Russell 2000, similar. Dollar. We'll see. We'll see if that's the bottom or not, or if it's just going to put in another lower high. We'll see how it plays out. VIX, right? The VIX. Failing forward on the VIX. We circled the 200-week moving average. Would have come back up and retest that. Let's switch gears a little bit. Well, it's not really switching too many gears, but let's go back over to NVIDIA, right? Still have this gap down here at $96. Still currently bearish. Maybe that's it as of right now. Maybe letting the trailing dots kind of catch up. We'll see. That's a pretty big wick so far. So maybe there's a little bit of retracement. Maybe it fills this gap over here. There's a little bit of a gap over there like that. We don't know. We don't know for sure, right? What's the weekly chart doing? Pending MACD bearish crossover on the weekly chart. Bearish divergence on the weekly chart. Possible lower high over here on NVIDIA weekly chart. Something to pay attention to. Something to pay attention to. If so, then we can see a bigger correction over there on NVIDIA. Possibly coming all the way back down and filling that gap, and maybe even lower, right? Maybe even lower. Yeah, gap down here at $96, $69 as well. Don't forget about the 200-week moving average down here. Don't forget about that massive gap at $30, right? Before the split, it was $300, or I think it was 300. Yeah, that's probably a 10-to-1 split. See how much time we have. The man, the myth, the legend. Good morning, Arnold. Longtime market sniper. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. Yeah. So Nvidia, the weekly chart, something to pay attention to. Was that the top? I don't know. Maybe at least a local top, right? We talked about it. We covered a possible local top. Was getting overbought again, right? Overbought, overbought, overbought. Bearish divergence, possible lower high, even on the daily chart. Then it broke down, another possible lower high, right? So the weekly chart has bearish divergence, right? Talked about that, covered it, already had it on there. 2-week chart has bearish divergence, followed by a possible reversal candle, right? Many reasons why a bigger correction is coming for Nvidia, right? Many reasons why a bigger correction for Nvidia is coming. Not only the daily chart. See, as you can see, it takes time to play out, right? It takes time to play out. Even when price goes parabolic, it happens in like slow motion. Everyone's talking about buying the dip, buying the dip, buying the dip. However, I probably wouldn't be buying. Take this for what it's worth. It's not this is not financial advice. But me personally, when an asset is overbought, when it can do no wrong, when every dip is going to be bought or talked about being bought, being bought, being bought, it's AI, it's the chips that run everything, right? I just look at it as price. Yeah, all that could be true, but it doesn't mean it couldn't be currently overvalued and that it was overheated price wise, it was overbought, and that a correction is healthy, right? If you want it to be the superpower chip company of the future, it needs to cool off. Otherwise, it could just have a huge crash. But so, uh, with all that being said, I mean, that was such a massive move since down here in October 2022, right? Massive move. We're talking huge move from the 200-week moving average all the way up 1,000, more than 1,000% since the last time uh, Nvidia hit the 200-week moving average. That's better than Bitcoin. That's better than most of the altcoins. That is a massive parabolic move to the upside. Now, with all of that said, now we've seen the breakdown on the daily chart have bearish divergence. We have bearish divergence on the weekly chart. We have bearish divergence following a pending reversal candle on the 2-week chart, right? So, uh, take all that into consideration. I would have to say that the probabilities are increasing that the top is in on Nvidia and that a bigger correction is coming at least down to maybe $96. Maybe it fills the gap at $69. I'd have to map it all out. But I don't think bigger players are stepping in to buy more until they get a better value, right? So right now it's probably just retail. It's probably just taking your money right now. And you'd be exit liquidity, as they like to say, right? The fancy trading terms, exit liquidity. I just like to say they like taking your money because they need to get out of their positions and rotate into something else or rotate into cash. Who knows, right? Probably something else. But what a move that was! You know, golf clap for Nvidia, 1,000% since the 200-week moving average bounce over there, right? If you go to the weekly chart, just went parabolic, right? Went parabolic. Got a pending MACD bearish crossover as well. So even from this last like buy signal area over here, so it's 885% even on the weekly chart. No weekly sell signal the entire way. Still no current weekly sell signal yet. But price is already down quietly. Came down 25% already, right? Quietly. So, it happens in slow motion. It happens in slow motion, and the next thing you know, it's down 30%, 50%, right? So that would be a healthy move. That'd be a healthy move after a 1000% move. Retracing 25, 50, maybe even more 60, 70% is healthy overall. And then maybe by that time, the 200-week moving average is catching up, right? So we'll see. We'll see on the video. Woo, that's a lot of time spent on the video. But is the top in? There's a lot of reasons why you could argue that the top is in. And that was a lower high. That was a lower high confirmed with the lower low. So it's putting in lower highs and lower lows on the daily chart. There's divergences. There's reversal candles on the higher time frames. So starting to look like the top could be in on the video. Meta, probably similar thoughts over there, right? Amazon, Microsoft. I'm just not going to spend all this time. It's already 38 minutes on all of them, right? Tesla's a little bit different because they already went through like this big correction. And then, so we'll see. We'll see. Apple a little bit different because it went through a correction as well and didn't pump as hard to the upside. So we'll continue to watch Apple, Google, right? All going through corrections. Let's switch gears over here. What else? CK. You got it. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for smashing the like button. Thank you for helping me, help you, help me. And we'll continue sniping the markets together. What else? HUT. We talked about it. We covered it. There is bearish divergence, possible lower high, RSI sell signal back on July 10th, right? Even though price went higher, there's an RSI sell signal followed by bearish divergence. So if you took this breakout over here at say $8.80 and it smashed all four targets, shorter term targets to the upside, smashed the 200-week moving average, smashed another longer term target over here, put in bearish divergence, put in a lower high. We talked about and covered it. Candle closed back below yesterday, below the trading dots. When was then a good time to take profits, right? When was back then on bearish divergence or a lower high a good time to put in take profits, right? So you just got to make sure your plan of attack is dialed in. Maybe you took some off the table at target 4. Maybe you took some off the table when it started to retest 200-week moving average. Maybe you took some off the table when it hit this longer term target and put in bearish divergence. Maybe you took all of it off the table when it started putting a lower high and closed back below there. If so, right, even from here to here and you're fully out, that's a massive move to the upside. Now it's got a pending sell signal. So even if you waited for that, right, still a massive move to the upside. Doesn't mean the entire move is over, right? It depends on what longer term or shorter term, whatever you're looking at. But once it was overbought on the weekly chart, followed by a reverse candle, overbought, possible reversal candle, and bearish engulfing candle, came back down for a correction. So a longer one. So it is possible it comes back down, consolidates, and waits for another move, right? So something to pay attention to, right? Make sure your plan is dialed in before you start risking your money, especially on these that pump hard. They also dump hard, right? So it's like catching lightning in a bottle. Did you catch lightning in a bottle again, or did you not, right? Bitfarm, Marathon Digital, close this gap over here, right? I had this gap left open over here. Hit 4 out of 4 targets to the upside. CLSK, we had 2 scenarios playing out. Is it consolidating to break out, or is it going to break back down? Had a sell signal again yesterday. We had the red arrow down over here. Don't forget about this gap over here at $10.60. Iris Energy still coming in for the retracement after the bearish divergence, right? Bearish divergence broke down, continues to break down, has not found bottom yet. We're going to make it. Similar thoughts, bearish divergence, reverse candle. We covered all this in real time. Overbought, reverse candle on Cipher Mining, MIGI. Possible lower high, right? Sell signal, and now it's breaking down from this upward trend line over here on MIGI. Woo! Still consolidating, still going through this bottoming phase over here. So kind of draw it out like that. We don't know if that's going to hold or not, but just from that touch point to that touch point, those 4 targets are still valid as of right now. If it takes out this pivot point wick over here at 84 cents, then those targets will have to be redrawn for a retracement. As of right now, it's only hit 1 target so far. Riot, 3 out of 4 targets to upside. Hive, Veritone. Is Veritone finding support at the trading dots? Possibly. Has only hit 1 target so far to the upside. Lemonade, ultra bullish. Looks like it might have found support at the trading dots. If you look at the weekly chart, it's still bullish over here. Has not retested the 200-week moving average for a very, very, very long time. If you look at the trajectory of it, but it's a newer 200-week moving average over here. Just started in April. So you can see this is still bullish on the daily chart. Up 8% today. Labu, another one, right? Weekly chart is still bullish. The daily chart is probably getting close to being ultra bullish. You got this longer term downward trend line. What a move it's been since 113. I think that's about it that I'm going to cover myself. So let's get back into it and just kind of go through some of these requests. We're already at 44 minutes. Let's keep going. Pond. Got it. Pond. Would you say Coinbase? Okay. Still trying to find bottom over here. Let's see. You got the bullish divergence. So similar to the other altcoins already covered, Robbie, is that you get the bullish divergence. Now is it going to put in a higher low, right? Could put in additional bullish divergence, but will it put in that higher low? If so, that will be the higher probability of a bigger retracement, at least, if not a bigger move to the upside. So you want price to close. Candle closes back above this line. Let's see. Let's change that. Boom. So any candle closes above here would be that higher low that you probably want to be looking for if you're trading it to the upside. So it'd be something like that, right? So we'll see. Bullish divergence, higher probability is a higher low, and then see if it breaks out from there. What else? Nasdaq. Did I miss one? Matic. Yeah, we briefly covered it. Wasn't really a lot of similarities to the other crypto assets. Trias. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Bullish divergence. So a lot of similarities to all the other altcoins already, right? So you got the bullish divergence over there on Trios. That was not a low. That was not a double bottom. That was not, right? Put that out like that. And we'll see. See if it puts in a higher low. Maybe it comes back. You're looking for that higher low for that higher probability, right? Wherever it is, however it plays out, right? Where's that higher low going to be? Was it over here? Or is it going to be back over here, right? So that's Trios. Wherever that higher low is going to be, could be down here, could be here, could be on the training dots, right? Who knows? But the overall idea, right? That's the overall idea on Trios. Yup. Yeah, it's means that it's ultra bullish. It means that it could be overbought, and it's sometimes when the magic happens. That's why it's kind of like an inside joke from the I would tell the Discord members, more than 2 years ago when I was doing coaching videos and all that stuff, when I was live coaching and recording all those videos. It's sometimes when the magic happens, but you could call it overbought, you could call it ultra bullish, and sometimes when the magic happens. So we have a magic wand on there. It's kind of like an inside joke. Of when the magic happens. And so we put it on the indicator, and we just, it was a joke at first, and then we just left it on the indicator. Here we are 2 years later. Can't be so serious all the time, right? Got to have a little bit of fun with it. So we have a magic wand as sometimes, not always, sometimes it means that it's overbought and that maybe you should be consider taking profit, but it is sometimes when the magic happens, right? So good question. You got it, Robbie. You got it. Ooh, I don't give financial advice, Matthew. I don't give financial advice. I'm down in a position on MIGI. Well, what was your reason for buying MIGI, right? What made you buy it? What were the reasons why you decided to buy MIGI? And when did you buy? And what price did you buy? So you guys start with that, right? You got to have a whole entire plan mapped out in advance. Where did you buy, and where what was your plan of attack? What was your entry? What was your exit? Well, obviously you didn't exit, but what's your you should have had an exit strategy if you're currently down, or you know, I guess we have to figure out what got you into the position in the first place, right? Before you ever get into a position, I always say, and I've talked about this a lot on the deep dives with recorded coaching, never getting to a position unless you have an entire plan mapped out. How can you execute a trade if you don't have it mapped out in advance, right? So win, lose, or even draw on your plan, but as long as you execute your plan, but you can't execute your plan if you don't even have a plan, right? So step one, have a plan. Step two, execute that plan to the best of your ability. And if even if that means you taking a loss, if you have it mapped out and you have a plan in place, the loss will probably be somewhat small. You won't be caught holding now, right? You won't be caught holding because maybe you bought when it was starting to get exciting again, right? And now you're down 24%, right? I'm not saying that's you, but or you're really excited over here, right? You got really excited. We're going to the moon over here, and then you're down 65% for 5 months, right? So make sure to have a plan. If you're buying over here, don't forget to take profits along the way. If you bought over here, don't forget to have your stop loss and or your exit strategy, and then wait for the next one. Same thing, right? So you got to have all that mapped out in advance. Otherwise, you probably shouldn't be investing or trading your own money, right? You could even have a longer term investment, and then you wouldn't be really, you'd have to hold through a lot of pain, probably, right? You got to hold through the ups and the downs and the all arounds over there if you're long term investing. So just be aware of all that. I'm more of a swing trader. Yeah, so no more details from you, Matthew. So I guess we'll kind of call it there. Can't really talk about it more without more details. So, and plus this isn't like a live coaching session either. I no longer do live coaching sessions. I only did them for 2 or 3 months, and I recorded all those sessions because it was draining too much of my energy, took too much of my time, and I became friends with all the live coaching people. And so I told them, I said, we're at a crossroads. Either I'm going to have to charge you tens of thousands of dollars. I charged them $199 a month, right? Uh, so I always outperform what I charge. But I had to charge them something. My time is valuable. And then after going hard and spending a lot of energy uh, and recording those videos, I told them, I said, hey, I'm going to have to either quit the live coaching or charge you tens of thousands of dollars. So I'm going to quit the live coaching. So there we are. There we are. That's it. That's about it. Hopefully everyone's having a good rest of your day. And we will see you tomorrow on the next live stream. And we've almost gone a full hour over here. And we'll continue to sniper the markets together. Thanks again. Appreciate everyone. And we'll see you on the next live stream for our 13th consecutive. All right.